All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're breaking down a complete, ground-up strategy straight from our source material on how to actually navigate this wild AI YouTube gold rush. Because, honestly, a lot of creators are totally struggling here. But this blueprint, it lays out exactly how to build an artificial intelligence channel that actually gets monetized.
So let's clear up a massive misconception right out of the gate. You can't just have an AI generate a script, slap a robotic voice on it, and expect to make money. The data is explicitly clear on this. YouTube absolutely will not monetize low-effort AI spammers. Your content literally has to be original, educational, and driven by genuine human insight.
To pull that off, our source breaks this entire strategy into 4 actionable steps. First, winning the AI YouTube game. Second, the 4 pillars of content. Third, the 5-step production workflow. And finally, long-term channel growth.
So, starting with part 1, winning the AI YouTube game. This is all about how you position yourself for success. And the core philosophy here is actually pretty fascinating. We need to create truly educational content, not just churn out generic tool reviews. Think about it. Every time a new AI tool drops, 1,000 channels rush to just show off the user interface. But when you take the time to explain the underlying mechanics or how to practically integrate these tools into real life, you instantly elevate from a dime-a-dozen review hub to an indispensable educational resource.
To do that effectively, though, you gotta know exactly who you're talking to. Your content needs to speak directly to this huge yet very specific group of people who are actively trying to adopt artificial intelligence into their daily lives. We're talking about beginners who are completely overwhelmed by the jargon. We're talking about founders trying to speed up their operations, students trying to learn faster, and creators looking to scale. Whenever you're mapping out an explainer, you really need to hold one of these specific people in your mind and ask, how is this information going to make their life easier today?
To really grab that audience's attention, the research strongly suggests leaning into what makes human communication so powerful in the first place: great storytelling and high-quality visuals. By using clear diagrams to map out complex ideas or animations to show how data actually flows, you take these incredibly intimidating topics and make them totally approachable.
Which brings us right to section 2, the 4 pillars of content. Essentially, exactly what you should be creating.
The strategy organizes your entire channel into 4 super solid pillars: explanations, comparisons, workflows, and news. And honestly, rotating through these is the secret to keeping your channel dynamic. You hit search traffic with the comparisons, you build authority with the explanations, you provide crazy practical value with the workflows, and you ride those viral trends with the news. Let's break each of those down.
Under the first pillar, AI Explained, your main job is demystification. You're answering foundational questions like, what exactly is a large language model? Or, why do AI models sometimes confidently lie to us, which, we call hallucinations? Explaining these mechanics clearly makes you the trusted guide in an otherwise completely confusing tech landscape.
Then, the second pillar tackles comparisons. Look, people are suffering from massive decision fatigue right now. They want to know, should I be paying $20 a month for ChatGPT, or should I jump over to Claude? How does Gemini stack up against DeepSeek? In this pillar, you're stepping in to help specific groups, like coders or students, figure out exactly which tool is actually worth their time and money. You do the heavy lifting of testing them head-to-head so they don't have to.
Pillar 3 is just incredibly valuable because it shifts everything from theory right into practice. This is where you show viewers step by step how to build websites, launch marketing campaigns, or just automate their incredibly boring, repetitive tasks. Because let me tell you, when a viewer saves 5 hours a week using your specific workflow, they're hitting that subscribe button for sure.
And finally, the 4th pillar keeps everybody current. AI News Explained. And that doesn't mean just reading press releases. It means asking the tough questions. Why does this update actually matter in the real world? Who really benefits here? And most crucially, does the user need to switch their current tools based on this news?
All right, moving into section 3, the 5-step production workflow. This is the engine that makes all of this happen. This workflow moves you seamlessly from the initial research stage all the way to a polished final edit using targeted AI tools at every single step. First, you research, then expand the script, generate your audio, create those visual assets, and finally edit it all together. But to make this actually work, you really need to understand what each tool is uniquely best suited for.
For instance, it's absolutely vital to note that NotebookLM's specific role here is to help you truly grasp the topic and build your outlines. It's an incredibly powerful research assistant. You feed it dense white papers and data, and it synthesizes it for you. But And the source material is super clear about this. You should not use it to generate a final, publish-ready script. It's your assistant, not your final draft writer.
You can really see how these tools complement each other beautifully. You use NotebookLM to gather the facts and structure your logical flow. Then, you pass that structured outline over to a more creative model like ChatGPT or Gemini. You prompt them to flesh out that outline into an engaging script with actual pacing and strong hooks. It's literally like a relay race using the absolute best features of different AIs.
Once that script is locked in, and you've sprinkled in your own human flair, of course, you can fire up those AI voice and image generators for your assets. But notice that very last step. You have to manually edit everything. You've got to piece the audio, the pacing, and the visuals together yourself to make a polished product. The AI is your crew, but at the end of the day, you are the filmmaker.
Which takes us to our final section, Part 4, Long-Term Channel Growth. How do we actually scale this thing? Well, 2 is the magic number here. According to the strategy, your ultimate goal is to publish 2 high-quality evergreen videos every single week. Evergreen just meaning content that'll be exactly as relevant 6 months from now as it is today. Think those AI explained or practical workflows videos. Hitting this number consistently builds massive momentum with the algorithm, creating this huge back catalog that literally continues to generate views and revenue while you sleep.
But while those 2 evergreen videos are your rock-solid foundation, you still have to stay nimble. This space moves at lightning speed. So when a massive piece of AI news breaks, say a brand new model drops that changes the whole industry overnight, you need to be agile enough to pause your normal schedule and drop a highly relevant news explainer immediately. This combo of a steady evergreen base mixed with those viral news spikes, it is the absolute ultimate growth hack for this niche.
And as that growth takes off, your financial opportunities totally multiply. You can expand your monetization way beyond basic ad revenue by offering premium access to your knowledge. Think paid courses, prompt engineering guides, or full-on automation templates. Because you've spent all this time actually educating your audience rather than just reviewing flashy tools, they'll gladly pay for that deeper access.
So we've covered the positioning, the 4 content pillars, the daily workflow, and exactly how to scale it for the long term. Armed with this complete blueprint, the only question really left for you is, what complex AI topic are you going to explain first?